My name is Jennifer Gothier, and I'm the director of the Sustainable Development Institute at the College of Menominee Nation. Our work focuses on all the different facets of sustainability, but in an Indigenous way. The Sustainable Development Institute is currently, we're working with energy sovereignty and exploring alternative energy uses for campus, and then providing education to community on those alternative energy sources. We're working with climate change and climate adaptation rather than climate mitigation. We work with students and we work with our education department to provide cultural exchanges between other Indigenous communities so that we can learn different ways of knowing, understand different cultures and communities, and find alignment and find projects that we can work on together. It means taking the best care of what we currently have and ensuring that these things are here for future generations. Our language is built on animacy and inanimacy, living things and non-living things. Our language tells us there's not a hierarchy, so like living things aren't any greater than non-living things. So it's just ingrained within our language and ways of knowing. It's new and old because it has always existed for, over 16,000 years. But this is a contemporary world. So the way that we use that language is definitely going to be different. We're creating new words to explain new concepts and new things. Knowing Menominee language is a way to deepen those relationships and understandings. Beginning language learning, a tree is Metik, and that can be any tree. But as you're out in the woods and you're speaking the language and learning more about the trees, maybe that tree becomes a ska, the pine tree. It just widens your understanding of things. And again, all of those relationships. This world is changing really quickly, and we should do everything that we can to preserve and make things better. So the Phenology Trail is a result of a want to understand the beauty that exists behind the college. And it was an opportunity to provide education to students, but also to community. There's guides along the way that will point out plants to you, the pictures that will tell you the Menominee name first, the scientific name and the common name, and the purposes for that specific plant. Phenology is the changes of plants and living things as they go through the different seasons. It gives you an opportunity to stop and pause, to be in the place that you're at rather than trying to just hurry up and walk through and get your steps in. It gives you an opportunity to engage and see what's there. There are strawberries, blackberries, there's raspberries, there's blackcap raspberries. There's a lot of different types of berries that grow along the trail. It's incredible how diverse it is in that small little area. Back that way, there's May apples, and there's a whole wild onion patch. So sometimes we'll bring students out here, or I think we had the sous chef come visit one time, and we took him around here, and we were harvesting wild onions for him to cook a meal for the community with those. So that was fun. Sustainability and phenology are important because those plants are indicators. If we observe them and we have that relationship with them, they're telling us a story. And what they're telling us right now is that things are out of balance. So things are blooming sooner than they should. They're producing more fruit than they probably should because they're trying to survive. We're seeing the impacts of climate change, things that we could once set our internal clocks to. We're not able to do that anymore. For us, who are hunters and gatherers and we're engaged in the environment, takes keen observation of what's happening outside so that we know when it's the time and place to do something. Some of our traditional practices are being affected. We're in maple sugar season right now, and we're not quite sure how long that season is because we need a little bit of snowpack, and if you look outside right now, there's no snow. It's affecting our rice harvesting seasons because we're getting really strong and intense storms when it's around the time to harvest. It's knocking all of the rice off before it can be harvested. There's this misunderstanding that we existed and we didn't do anything with the land for all of these years. And we actually were stewards of the land, and we knew where to go for certain things. The notion that we didn't forest or that we didn't do things to make things healthier or better just simply isn't true. Phenology is incredibly important and something that we should all be paying attention to. There's so much that can be learned just by sitting outside for a little while or taking a walk outside. And not only will you feel better, but you'll start having relationships and understandings of wherever it is that you're spending your time.
You know, our natural environment plays a huge part. The history of our people has quite a bit of importance on us being in tune and even just out in the environment. When it comes to weaving natural materials, I've been able to learn more about the processing of black ash and inner cedar bark. Both trees are very, very important to us for different reasons. Black ash specifically is gathered in the springtime. There's a specific size that we look for. Black ash grows in swampy areas. A lot of our people say that the health of the land, especially in the swamp areas, can be seen by the health of the black ash trees. We also have lots of conversations about the emerald ash borer, which is an insect that makes its way underneath the bark. It basically kills the black ash trees. A lot of people talk about invasive species. We look at it in the way of our resiliency as a people is the same for the black ash tree. Its resiliency to the species that are killing it off right now will not make it fade completely. We will still be able to gather and to use it, and hopefully there's a natural adaptation that the tree will develop. After the tree is felled and the bark is popped off, we move to the step of stripping the strips off the log to be able to process to weave. So we score here and then score here, and then you start pounding the strip. And as you pound it, it loosens the strip that you scored and it starts to peel off. If you try to pull the strip before you've pounded it enough to just lift, it may rip. So you have to pound and strip it by strip. Practicing a lot of these arts teach us about life ways. It's a lot about learning about yourself along the way. So when you're getting them ready to weave, you put them in warm water. So you rehydrate them and then cut them to size and then begin your weaving. For me, wellness is woven into everything that we do. Practicing these art forms helps us to practice those old life ways of living well. The history of our homelands is rich in the way that we've kept the land preserved. So if we intentionally go out of our way to make those same things that our ancestors did, it means that we're choosing to be out in that environment. The connection is seeing ourselves as Menominee people as a part of that environment and treating it in the same way that we would treat our kin, treat our family, and treat ourselves. At the core of who we are, we're Amachek Taut. Inismetikuikiki, we're the Menominee people of the forest because it's deeply rooted in the language and life ways of our people. I just hope that my community continues to thrive in the way that our natural environment does.
The following organizations have provided funding for this Into the Outdoors television series.